Hi, my name is Emily Luschke, and I just wanted to talk to you today about my experience healing from cancer and healing with the Healing Hands Network. So in December of 2018, I was diagnosed at the age of 38 with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. I have more of a rare type of cancer. Usually breast cancer is driven from your hormones, and about 20% of people, it's driven from a protein called the HER2 protein. A lot of times people are hormone driven and protein driven, and I'm just protein driven. So I have HER2 positive metastatic breast cancer. I found out on a Monday that I had a tumor in my breast, my lymph nodes, and it had spread to multiple bones. So my sternum, my vertebrae in my back had been impacted. Most noticeably was cancer had spread to my femur and had completely degenerated the top of my femur bone where it's in my hip socket. Right away, when I got the diagnosis, the doctor wanted to hospitalize me. They thought that I should be in excruciating pain due to the cancer, that I shouldn't be able to walk, or that there should be hairline fractures. And by the grace of God and by miracles, and I think by healing, I didn't have any of that. I was able to walk. I didn't have any fractures. But given the extent of my bone metastasis, when I came to see Jaentra, she recommended that I be healed 7 times a week. And this was right around Christmas. And I'm so grateful that all of the people in the Healing Hands Network, Naomi and Paul and Julie, all saw me every single day in Jaentra, every single day, even on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So we started out a regimen of me being healed 7 days a week to prevent my hip from fracturing. Through this time, I was able to walk. I used a cane or walker just to ensure I didn't fall over. It was winter here in Minnesota, so it can be kind of slippery. And I never had a problem with my hip. I never had extensive pain. I was able to kind of live my life normally. So right away, when I got the diagnosis, I came and got healing the day after, and that started me being seen every single day. When you first go to healing and you're so sick as I was, cancer was driving my body to death. Your body doesn't like to release and you from the healers because you need that energy, you need that love. And it usually takes about 5 days. So I got diagnosed on a Monday. I started healing on a Tuesday, and by that Saturday, I was able to release my body of cancer. And we had a big healing plan. My family had flown in from Florida. I had friends here from California. Everyone is at the healing, and it was kind of like a remarkable day. The feeling when you get a healing is, first off, you just feel so loved. It's the most supportive feeling. You feel like people are there. You can feel the energy move through you. I feel the energy in ways of feeling tingling all over. And so that Saturday, when there was all these hands, like almost 20 people's hands on me, I just could feel the energy moving through me. I'm very connected. I have animals, so I have a dog, cat. I'm an avid horseback rider, and I also had a parrot. And sadly, on the day that I released my body to my internal healer to start healing me rather than the cancer, my parrot died. We came home and he had passed away on the bottom of his cage. And even people, skeptics, huge skeptics of energy healing and, things like that, they were like, I think that, the energy of you releasing your body, your bird took on your pain, took on your disease so that you could then now heal from it. So it was kind of like a sad thing. It was an amazing day, but then also a sad day. In speaking with the doctors, they had said that usually my type of cancer can respond well to chemotherapy. Going into the doctor, I really didn't want to do the chemotherapy. I was terrified of it, and I felt like maybe I'll just do the energy healing and pray that it will work for me. I chose to go with the chemotherapy, not because I didn't think that the healing would work, but because I knew I needed to face my biggest fear. And my biggest fear was, one, dying, and more to that, dying in pain. And if you have cancer, that's kind of like a slow death of dying in pain. And that was my biggest fear. And also doing the chemotherapy and just being in this situation was my biggest fear. And I knew if I didn't do the chemotherapy that I wouldn't be facing my biggest fear. So I went ahead and did the chemotherapy, but then also did the healing 7 days a week. And I am so grateful for that because, you know, Jaentra had mentioned you probably won't lose all your hair. I mean, my hair's short now, but you can see the long hairs that I did keep. I never lost all my hair. I never was completely sick. I never vomited. I never, you know, missed something because I was so sick or so fatigued. You know, I was tired and I would get a little ill, but it was nothing like what you would think or experience. You hear about people from cancer. You know, I didn't lose a lot of weight. I had maintained a healthy appetite throughout the whole experience. I was able to walk. I was able to go out with friends. Another thing is cancer totally suppresses your immune system and makes you so much more at risk of getting sick. And here in Minnesota, people get sick all the time in winter, especially due to our extreme weather conditions. And I still went out and still did things with my friends. I never once got sick. And it was such a reassuring thing to know every day that I had these people that were going to be dedicated to my healing, and then we all could take time together for me to heal. It was just the most amazing experience of love and receiving. That's the thing that they say about cancer patients. A lot of times people, the typical cancer personality are people that are really good at giving but not good at receiving. And I can say that was me. I did not like to receive. I'd rather give. I never really gave people the opportunity to give what I was feeling and giving. And so now with doing the Healing Hands Network and going to the healings every day, I've had to learn how to be really good at receiving. Every day I would come to get the healing, it was just like a day of people supporting me. And it was awkward at first. It was like uncomfortable. But I started to learn to like just feel really grateful for it. And the more I felt grateful for it, the more I could physically feel my body healing. One of the things about cancer that you don't think about, you kind of hear people talk about it, mental health along with cancer, is the fact that, you know, when you get a stage 4 diagnosis, the doctors aren't trying to cure you. So really you have to do what you can do to cure yourself. That was probably the hardest part for me, was kind of dealing with the fact that I could potentially die from this, and I could potentially die in pain and live my worst nightmare. And so I had to face that, you know, and I had to even face the thoughts of suicide that come along with a cancer diagnosis. You know, I mean, I never knew what that would feel like when I'd hear people commit suicide. I could not even understand why they would do that. But now I know, you know, you convince yourself that everyone will be a lot better off without you here, you know. That's why, you know, my mom, who was with me on this whole journey, she'd be like, she would know when I tell her, like, I should just die, you know, I'd have these ideas. She'd be like, I just can't wait for you to get to Jaentra's tomorrow because I know you're going to feel so much different. And I truly believe that me getting the healing and having that consistency and having that love being poured into me every single day is what helped me stay strong and helped me get through the process of chemotherapy and through the process of healing. So right away, after 8 weeks of chemotherapy, my doctor had said that she was hoping to see my body not progressing with cancer still. And at that time, they took a scan and saw that all of the cancer in my lymph nodes had been completely resolved. The cancer in my breast was a 3.7 centimeter tumor, had gone down to just a line, and that all of my bones had already started to regrow. She was so shocked. She said, I mean, your body just must really respond well to the chemotherapy and treatment. And I was thinking, okay. And then I asked her, I said, will there ever be a point where there won't be any cancer in my body? And she said, you have stage 4. It's highly unlikely that your body will ever be completely cancer-free. We'll just keep it at bay and keep it from spreading. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, okay, we'll see. You know, and I just knew. I just knew through coming through the healings and making this a priority and healing a priority that I would be cancer-free. So I continued doing healings, 7 days a week for 3 months, and I went down to 4 days a week, mainly doing healings with Jaentra and Kevin. After I was done with the chemotherapy, I had a PET scan, and a PET scan looks at any cancer cells in your body. And she did the PET scan to see if I had a lot of cancer still in my bones, where we were at. Just before I had that PET scan, about a month before, after I was done with chemo, it totally ruins your muscles. And so I had this experience where I was having extreme muscle spasms in my back. Because now I'm moving around more. It's, springtime in Minnesota. I'm moving around more. I'm done with chemotherapy. And so I start having these back spasms. And I came to Jaentra and, was laying on the table in so much pain, thinking, I can't lay here not one more second. And a voice told me, keep laying there. You're going to experience a miracle. And out of nowhere, I had a huge back spasm. And then the pain just completely went away. It never has returned yet, and that was several months ago. I just knew when that happened, it was like there was a sense in my heart that I was going to be cancer-free. When I got that PET scan and the doctor walked in and said, it's amazing. You're in a complete remission. There are no signs of cancer in your body. It's a miracle. I was beyond the moon ecstatic. I was so grateful. I can't even express the feelings. When you have a health problem, it runs your whole life. And to then now be in a place to be cancer free, truly a miracle. But at the same time, it was like, well, yeah, I knew that. I knew that was going to happen. I just knew it. And I know that the only way that I was able to get to this point is because I've been doing these energy healings. I truly believe that my body wasn't just a lucky body that responded so well to chemotherapy. I truly believe it's because of these energy healings that I'm in this place today. And also a huge thing for me is my horses. The horses aren't just my hobby. They're not just my pets. They're my lifestyle. And through this whole time, I haven't been able to spend time with them or ride them. And the doctor told me it was going to take a couple years for my bones to regrow. And I'm thinking, why might I not even live a couple years? Like, I may never ride again. It was terrible. And because now that I have no cancer in my body and my bones have shown significant regrowth already, I'm able to get the orthopedic surgeon cleared me to get back up on my horse. So, like 2 days later, I was up walking around my horse. I'm taking it slow, but I'm at the point now where I can think about having a future. 7 months post-diagnosis of stage 4 cancer, I thought I would be at the point of trying to plan my funeral. I really didn't know that I could be at the point of planning my future. And I'm so grateful to Jaentra, Naomi, Julie, Kevin, Paul, Femi, my friends, Aaron, Heidi, all of my friends and family that have come to all of my healings, because not only has this healing been about me, I've invited in all of my friends and family, and it's just been an amazing experience. I am so grateful. I can't even put into words how I feel, but I am so grateful to the Healing Hands Network and 3 Heart Balancing. It has truly given me a new perspective on life.